Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday and sometimes Fridays. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. All right, if you guys are watching, you might notice that we have a pink microphone now. So I got these Rode covers for our mics. I'm hoping it helps with like the popping and if you guys hear mouth sounds and things like that. Every once in a while we get a comment about that. But yes, hopefully this like double protection that we have now helps. Okay, let's just get into the stories for today. The first story that I have for you guys, I forgot to cover this yesterday, but there has been some like quote unquote drama unfolding between Connor Franta and Troye Sivan over the past 2 weeks. So this is quite the throwback. It all started when Troye posted the iconic picture of him, Connor Franta, and Chapel Roan, before she was like the Chapel Roan, to his Instagram on August 15th. The catch was that he had cropped Connor out of the photo. The photo was the first photo in a dump that was captioned a series of images. He reportedly clarified that it was not his crop, writing, FYI, I found that pic online doing my weekly Google of Troye Sivan and Chapel Roan, not my crop. Anyway, the post was a big deal to fans of Troye and Connor because in the mid-2010s, there were rumors circulating for years that Troye and Connor were together. Their ship name was actually Tronner. A day later, Connor went on to post the picture with Chapel, this time with Troye cropped out. His post was captioned My Good Side, which many took as a reference to Troye's song The Good Side, which was from his 2018 album Bloom. The song is a sort of apology to an ex-boyfriend about how their breakup went down. Many believe the song is about Connor. So this back and forth led to Connor posting a video on YouTube also titled My Good Side. In the video, Connor acknowledged the back and forth on Instagram before admitting his surprise that people still cared about, quote, a relationship I had for 2 years. Through the video, he didn't mention Troye by name or anything, but it was very clear who he was talking about. When addressing the post, he clarified there was no drama between him and his former boyfriend. He even explained that they had crossed paths at an event in recent years after breaking up, and it was very smooth. He did reflect on the song. However, he also didn't say it by name, but he said, quote, the horrible thing about that song, I mean, he was right, but he was also completely wrong. I think he got the good side of things emotionally, but I think in many ways, a song like that neglects the idea that people are individuals and everyone chooses their own path in life. I think the good side of life is completely subjective, and the older I get, the more I realize I'm living my good side. To me, my life is exceptional. And then he finished his video with a message to his viewers and to Troye. He first said a big thank you to anyone who continues to consume his content, saying that having a platform is, quote, the honor of his life, which is so cute. Meanwhile, his message to Troye was, quote, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you for every single thing that you've done. Stans believe that this is also another callback to The Good Side, the song, again, where the lyrics are, quote, I'm sure we'll meet in the spring and catch up on everything. I'll say I'm proud of all that you've done. Okay, like, obviously that's a callback to that. So a wholesome conclusion, but people are dying that Chapel Roan is like at the center of this. So many of the comments under the video about Chapel, like this one, quote, Chapel Roan being the reason of getting closure on some 2014 lore was not in my bingo card. All right, the next story that I have for you guys is also something that unfolded earlier this month. It only just came across my desk, but it is very OG to Centennial. Like, it is about the beauty community. It's about a collab scandal. Like, that really feels like native to how Centennial started. So I wanted to cover it, even though, like I said, it is a little bit old. This all went down like mid-August, but I don't know. I didn't even see it. So there is a bit of like a scandal around Made by Mitchell, the makeup brand by UK influencer Mitchell Halliday, where people are calling a collab that he had in the works a scam. So like I said, Mitchell Halliday is a UK beauty influencer. He has his own brand called Made by Mitchell. The company was apparently really struggling, but then they got on TikTok Shop a couple of years ago. They've had a lot of products go viral. They've seen a lot of success from that. So they've really been popping off in the last couple of years. Now, this collab scandal situation starts in March 2023. So on March 15th, 2023, Mitchell announced a global beauty competition called A Full Face of Color Case. And the prize was a winner would basically be able to design their own collection with Made by Mitchell and earn commission on those sales. The winner was a creator named Malachi, and earlier this month, he made a multi-video series on how this all went down and basically blew up in his face. So according to Malachi, he had a call with Mitchell scheduled on May 23rd after the announcement of him winning. Mitchell postponed this at the last minute, saying he'd be too busy. 2 days later, they spoke, and Mitchell invited him to Liverpool in June to discuss business ideas. When Malachi arrived, he says that Mitchell was hours late, but eventually they did meet, and Malachi shared an art book and sketchbook of different concepts. He claims that he was told the collection would include 10 to 15 products, and they would be aiming for a Christmas launch. Before he left, Mitchell gave him a package of products, showing the giveaway off on TikTok Live. Malachi accidentally left behind his sketchbook, art book, and the makeup package, but said that Mitchell promised to mail them the next day. He was also told apparently that the contract for this collab would be ready in their next meeting. Weeks passed, and Malachi says neither his books nor the package of makeup ever arrived. By late August, he messaged Mitchell. He claims that Mitchell reassured him that these things take time and progress would come soon. When Malachi followed up in October, he says he got no response, and by the end of 2023, still nothing had moved forward. A full year later, in March 2024, Malachi finally heard back. Sarah, who was a member of the Made by Mitchell team, sent him an NDA, and a woman named Holly arranged a call to discuss the project. But instead of moving forward with his original idea, Malachi claims that he was asked to pitch new concepts again, this time for a box set as opposed to a full line. He says he initially didn't like this idea because selling something as a box set he felt would be too expensive for consumers. So he says after this meeting, Mitchell emailed him thanking him for his ideas, and then Malachi responded saying he wanted to stick to an affordable collection, not a luxury box set. He also says that he was told he wouldn't be paid up front, only through commission on TikTok shop sales. He says it was far from the, quote, life-changing money that Mitchell had promised in the initial collaboration announcement. Then in September 2024, Malachi claims he was invited back to Liverpool for another meeting. Once again, there was no contract, and he was asked to share even more ideas. Malachi says he didn't even hear back from them after this until January 2025. On a call with this woman, Sarah, he reminded her of Mitchell's promise of, quote, life-changing money. Weeks later, he was introduced to Mitchell's business manager, Janine, who allegedly assured him a contract was on its way. After months of back and forth, Malachi says the contract finally arrived in late May 2025, and it didn't reflect what he had been promised. Instead, it was basically only slightly better than the TikTok shop deal. Malachi sent Mitchell a long message of frustration. He says he'd put other opportunities on hold, that his audience was still asking him for this collab. And when Mitchell finally responded, he kept it short. He said from then on, communication would go through Janine. And then on July 9th, Malachi walked away, telling Mitchell the deal was nowhere near what had been promised. And then, of course, about a month later, he made all of these videos. So Mitchell did respond to his videos on TikTok. He admitted that he had, quote, bit off more than he could chew, saying that he hadn't run the competition properly. He apologized to Malachi, acknowledged that he hadn't dedicated enough time to push the project through. Quote, first of all, and most of all, I want to apologize to Malachi for how this experience has felt for him. I didn't prioritize the time to get this collection through the gate the way I intended when I first launched the challenge. The excuse he gave was basically that Made by Mitchell exploded overnight, which I already mentioned, right? Largely because of TikTok Shop. And so, of course, that's going to kind of change your priorities, take a lot of your time and energy, and just be incredibly overwhelming for the founder if something blows up like that, I guess. But he said he was still open to a collaboration moving forward, and as far as I could see, all of these videos have since been removed. I've seen some people say, well, 2 years is a normal amount of time for a collab to get off the ground. However, I think the problem here is that nothing was moving forward. Yes, maybe 2 years to put products, an entire collection into production, right? Manufacturing, coming up with everything design-wise, formula-wise, packaging, all of that, and then put it into production, and then get it out for sale. Sure, that could be 2 years and that could be normal, but Malachi didn't even have a contract to sign for the first like 18 months. So like nothing was in production, like nothing was moving forward. I also saw somewhere on Reddit, again, like a lot of these videos have been removed, so I haven't been able to fact check this, but I saw on Reddit people saying that Malachi was really naive because he apparently was saying he was expecting like a 6-figure partnership deal, like collaboration deal, because it was branded as like life-changing money. The way that Mitchell promoted this challenge and talked about what this opportunity would do for the winners, like, yeah, I can see why he maybe thought that. I do think the language that we use around public promises, giveaways, challenges, that kind of stuff is really important because it can really impact people. So yeah, it's an unfortunate situation across the board, but like, of course, as you can imagine, the internet is overwhelmingly on Malachi's side. All right, and the last story that I have for you guys, this is just a quick one, but Madison Beer is rumored to be in a new relationship. So, Madison Beer has been spotted and is rumored to be dating Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. The two were first spotted together on August 18th, and there have since been several paparazzi shots of them together. A lot of internet users, at least on Reddit, think that this could be PR for her album release, mostly because the paparazzi shots are from Backgrid, which is the agency that celebrities can call on themselves. I guess this would be getting her in the headlines, so it's kind of drumming up some buzz around her before her album releases. If she has an album coming out, I don't even know that, but yeah. I also didn't know she was not dating Nick Austin anymore. So Madison dated TikToker Nick Austin for so long, and they broke up in 2024. And I mean, I'm not that surprised. Like, Nick Austin was like a friend of in the TikTok hype house, and I'm almost certain he dropped out of high school to be like adjacent to the hype house. And when he was criticized about that, this just burned in my brain. Like, when you just have like these random facts that happened in pop culture that are just burned in your brain, I will like never forget that he publicly addressed people like basically criticizing him and making fun of him for dropping out of high school to like kind of adjacently join the hype house. Like, he wasn't even like in the hype house. I'm pretty sure he was just friends with Alex Warren or Thomas Petrou or like one of those guys. And I remember he defended himself so staunchly, being like, I'm moving to LA to like join forces with the most popular, TikTok house or whatever, like making millions of dollars, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, unfortunately, where is the hype house now? Unfortunately. But he got to date Madison Beer from it. So you know what, Slay? And he still has 3 million followers on Instagram and 8 million followers on TikTok. So you know what? He probably actually has a pretty okay career. So you know what? Go forth, Nick Austin. I'm happy for you. Anyways, guys, that's it for Mini Scroll today. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. This was a bit of a light news day. It's very rare that we like struggle to find stories, but today we were scraping, okay? So hopefully when I talk to you guys on Thursday, the stories will be fresher. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will talk to you on Thursday, and Annabelle will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.